Okay, everyone says, Austin, your life must be so nice now that you're off the truck. If you're an owner-operator, all you can think about is like, oh man, are these guys going to do it correctly? Are they going to bleach out some paint? All this stuff that goes through your mind, that's stressful. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, just want to make a quick video for you guys. I know I always say quick video, and it ends up being like a 15-minute long video, but we'll see what happens here. Title of this video is going to be somewhere along the lines of what I've learned from being off the truck for a year. I don't need to go into a big introduction. A lot of you guys know me if you guys have been following me for a long time. I own a big power washing company here in Central Texas. And if you guys want to learn more, just watch some of my other videos, I guess. Let's get right into it. I'd say one of the biggest things I've learned after being off the truck for almost a year and having employees, having 2 trucks running 8 months out of the year, Monday through Friday, 3 to 4 jobs, 5 jobs a day per truck is equipment. Now, a lot of you guys have been following me for a long time. You guys know I'm a big equipment guy. Love equipment. And some of the equipment that's out there is super technological and super advanced. Remote downstream injecting, remote soft washing, gas soft wash systems, 50-foot, 60-foot distances, Flow Pro, MoFlow. I don't even know what that is, but apparently it's some new technological soft wash. I don't even know. Here's the deal, okay? Whenever I was an owner-operator and I was just myself, one-man truck, one-man band, baby, okay? I loved the advanced equipment. But here's the thing. That equipment is literally made for owner-operators. A lot of the guys that you're seeing that's rocking this super advanced equipment, 90% of them are owner-operators, right? And it works for them. Why? Just like myself, whenever I got, it's their money. They have the skin in the game. These are not employees, okay? These are not your employees, I should say. They're going out there, and what they're doing when they're coming home, and you watch these creators that are even posting videos about it. They come home, they wipe down their equipment, they flush everything. They baby it. They tuck it in at night. They put heaters in there. Make sure it's all warm and fuzzy, okay? They're switching things every single day. They're staying on top of it. They're mechanically inclined because it's their money, and they've learned and they've watched YouTube videos. These are owner-operators. So if you're an owner-operator, this crazy, awesome equipment is fantastic. And whenever I was an owner-operator for 3 years, I had the nice equipment. I spent the $25,000 on the skid. I had a $30,000 trailer as well. And it's true. You come back home and you baby your equipment. Why? Because you have skin in the game. You want it to work correctly. That's all you can think about at night. And I think whenever you do make the switch to having guys take over your stuff, and this is what we've learned this year, these are human beings. And that's not a knock against our guys. Our guys are phenomenal, and they make our world go round. They keep our boat running down the river, right? If we didn't have our guys, we wouldn't be where we are. But at the end of the day, they're paid to go out there and do a phenomenal job, and they do. But when it comes to this equipment, it's a bit unrealistic to have these guys come back home after getting back at the shop at 5, having family, and having to stay the extra hours to baby stuff, wipe things down. I mean, it can get tough, especially in the summertime and spring when it's just you're rocking and rolling, and you have the equipment, it leaves dirty, comes back dirty, and some of you guys are probably thinking, oh, Austin, you need to implement systems. You need to have the guys switch things and refresh stuff. And dude, I don't want to hear it. I do, and that we do have systems, and we do keep extras, and we do keep couplings and fittings and stuff. At the end of the day just happens, and you got 4 or 5 jobs, and it's 100 degrees, and things going everywhere. Even when I was an owner-operator, I would come home tired as hell and just be like, you know what? I'm just so beat. I'm going to handle it tomorrow. I'll take it. I'll get it fixed. I'll do something. I'm going to take care of it tomorrow. With employees, they just don't have the same skin in the game, okay? And nor would I expect them to really to be. You'd be lucky to find someone who's 80% of you, right? If you're hiring, if you can find someone who's 80% of you, that's a very good hire, okay? And I'd say a lot of our guys are pretty dang good. But to have that expectation that we're going to come back every single day and do what I used to do, pull it into the trailer, get heaters, wipe everything down, get it on the nooks and crannies, and brush it, leave the next morning, everything's shining and it's all, very prideful like that. It's not going to happen, dude, okay? Anyone that you see on YouTube that's rocking fantastic level equipment, and they seem to not be posting about issues or whatnot, and everything's great. Majority of the time, they are owner-operators. Absolutely nothing wrong with owner-operators. I was one. I got blessed with an opportunity to join or to merge my company with another and become an owner in a much larger company, which is great. And I'm just sharing, again, what I've learned from the experience of going to, stepping back and, managing employees and controlling operations. This is absolutely something that'll happen. And so this is something that we're going to do in the next year is switch to more robust level equipment. Okay, there is a franchise. I'm not going to name names, but I know a handful of them. One specifically in Austin. It's a franchise, but their brand makes millions of dollars a year. And one of the guys that used to work for that franchise actually works for us now because apparently that franchise is having some issues. But they make millions of dollars a year, and they literally do window cleaning and they do soft washing. They soft wash with pump-up sprayers. They literally soft wash and make millions of dollars a year with pump-up sprayers. And when we got this guy, I was like, how in the world are you soft washing without, gas soft wash systems and 12 volting and Mo flowing or whatever, right? Dude, they'd get up on a ladder, pump up, spray it, go down. I was like, dude, how in the world? My mind's blown. But then I look at our stuff and we sometimes have a lot of issues. There's a lot of wires going everywhere. And if you get one short in a wire, if you're not mechanically inclined, and sometimes I'm not in the field all week, really. I'm kind of taking a step back. I'm doing estimates. I'm doing more owner operations type stuff, growing the business. I'm not able to see our equipment on a day-to-day basis. And when our guys are out there and they run into a technological electrical problem, very hard to diagnose unless you're very mechanically inclined. We don't have a shop mechanic who's an electrician sitting at our shop, right? So when we have an issue, it could quite literally shut down the whole day. Like if there's an issue with the remote soft wash system or the gas soft wash system, that literally shuts down our operations there, right? And so one, it's important to have backups like pump up sprayers or an XJet, but at the same time, it also kind of makes you think like, dude, like if you're gonna operate at this kind of level, you probably need to tone down efficiency because we're working with human beings, employees, right? And just switch to more, put more of an emphasis on reliability. So I think this year, honestly, electric hose reels, those are great. We have a lot of issues with it because, sometimes, again, when you put the stuff back in the shop dirty every single day or you don't maintain it like we used to, those electric hose reels, those motors, those wiring and bleach in the sun and exposure to the weather, it can get corroded and stuff. And all of a sudden you start running into issues. You're not able to problem solve. And then all of a sudden you're reeling up the electric hose reel by hand because you don't have a crank on it, right? You guys catch my drift if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about switching to manual hose reels, okay? No electrical whatsoever. Power washer, downstream injector, which is a $40 part, which is tried and true. They've been doing it forever, okay? And then maybe a 12 volt, but honestly, guys, you guys are going to flip out when I say this. XJet. Downstream injector, XJet, and maybe a 12 volt for the high potency bleach if we need to get there like a 6 or 7%, right? All those things that I just mentioned are less than $200. An XJet, a 12 volt, and a downstream injector. I get that might hurt me in efficiency, but again, we're dealing with human beings. They're not tucking it in bed at night, okay? It's going to come home dirty. If you buy a $25,000 skid, which we have two very expensive skids and a very expensive trailer, you're going to run into issues. It's only going to last for so long. Unless you are doing shop days or every Friday you're going yourself and you're fixing things and you're staying on top of it, it gets unrealistic, okay? Because at least for us, we're busy Monday through Friday, the week, and we have lives, okay? I can't, you know what I mean? It's very hard to stay on top of it, especially with my channel and whatnot. But even with you guys, I mean, you kind of pick your battles and whatnot. But if you truly want to be off the truck and have your business go out there and just make money and you truly not really have to be involved as much, it's going to be very hard to do that with very, very technologically advanced equipment. So I'd just say, if that's something you want to think about and you're looking at getting off the truck and, maybe I'm talking to someone who's on that path to getting off the truck, something you might want to consider, okay? Because, it's something that it's been an issue for us, and this is what this channel is about. Is just kind of, being transparent and telling you guys what we're having issues with. We're still doing very, very well, but I'd say equipment is gonna be one thing that we're gonna fix next year. Okay, so this is the second and last thing I've learned from being off the truck, and after this I'm gonna wrap this video up because I don't like to make too long of videos. And I get this a lot. Okay, everyone says, Austin, your life must be so nice now that you're off the truck. Dude, being off the truck is nice in a sense where you're not in the weather, you're not getting bleach on yourself, and my skin and my eyes and my body has responded well in that. I get to work out. Physically, I'm not as kind of like drained as I used to be, but my Lord, especially if you're running a bigger operation, your life absolutely gets a bit more stressful because, again, like I said in my first point earlier, you're dealing with human beings, and human beings are great, and they're, again, no shade, but you're inevitably going to run into issues, okay? Something breaks. Because again, you're not the one out there. When you're out there 100,000%, you're going to be a bit more attentive than maybe someone that you might hire, okay? Doesn't matter how good the guy is. And our guys don't really make that many mistakes, but mistakes do happen. And sometimes when you have more employees, more mistakes are susceptible to happening than maybe just you being out there, right? You're having two guys at a job. That's an extra person over there walking around, possibly could tip something over, whatever, right? And we've definitely had our fair share of roofs being burned, plants dying, windows breaking, missed spots, pots and plants falling over, damaging a concrete driveway. All these things can happen. And so I'd say your life does get stressful. Probably more stressful. I'd say whenever I was an owner-operator, my life wasn't that stressful. I'd say it was a little hard on my body, which I'm young. When I was an owner-operator, I was from 23 to 27, so 4 years. I'm young. Some of you guys are a lot older than me, right? And you still would agree. It's not very stressful. It's just kind of hard on the body, especially if you're working a lot. But absolutely, when you get off the truck and you're managing people, and maybe a guy isn't good with communication, isn't able to articulate to the customer when something goes wrong, and then all of a sudden they're trying to explain to the customer what happened, and maybe he doesn't have the same people skills that you do, and he's not able to form a thought process that your customer can follow, and then all of a sudden it doesn't sound right. Look, you're dealing with people, and it gets stressful. There's things that can happen on the job. There's words that can be said that's not correct. Look, there's all kinds of things that can happen. And so I would say it's been a benefit in my life physically, but it's definitely been a bit more stressful. But I'd say that's one thing you take into account. Don't think that, if I just get off the truck, my life will just be easier, because I'd say no. You have to literally feed, make sure you're feeding your employee, right? If you don't give him jobs, he's not going to stick around. That means you're going to have to get back on the truck. So the stress of making sure your guys are continuing to get work, that way they can eat, they can get paid, and you can stay off the truck is stressful. Sending your guys to a $5,000 tile roof and soft washing on a big multi-million-dollar house can be stressful, especially if you not being there. If you're an owner-operator, all you can think about is like, oh man, are these guys going to do it correctly? Are they going to bleach out some paint? All this stuff that goes through your mind, that's stressful. The finances of the whole thing can be stressful, right? So I'd just say that's another thing I've learned is that you guys can maybe get my 2 cents from is, if you guys pick up anything from this video, just know that if making money was easy, everyone would do it. I'm continuing to learn and post what I've learned on this channel for the last 4 years. And, this is where we're at right now. We're pretty busy in December, it being, Christmas light season, and Christmas lights has been great for us. I'll probably post them. That'll be for another video. But yeah, these are probably the 2 things I've learned from this past year, at least. There's obviously more itty bitty, like nicks and cranny type stuff, but for not to make this video go too long, that's probably the 2 things I've learned, something for you guys to take into account. So if you guys are on the verge about kind of getting out of an owner-operator level, totally commend that. Obviously, if you want to get to a point where you can sell your business, and any big business out there has gotten to that level, and it's been good. The thing is, you guys have to understand some of those things. This is what you're going to run into. Absolutely 1,000%, I'd say you might need to dial back your equipment, get something a bit more robust. Okay, I don't want to hear that, I've had professional level equipment, it's been working for 3 years. Okay, anyone that you've seen on YouTube that has this level of equipment, they're creators and they're owner operators, okay? And if they're not posting issues with something of their equipment, maybe that's something that they just don't want to talk about, but it's absolutely something that happens. Why? Because these are human beings, okay? I can't expect them to have the same skin in the game like we do, and I can't expect them to stay after hours, okay? At least not for very long until they ask themselves, like, this is bullcrap, I'm going to leave, right? I'm not going to go there till 7, 8 p.m. every other day fixing stuff, okay? I got the channel, I got all this different stuff, okay? It might be a bit more worth it for you guys to get a bit more robust level of equipment to get the jobs done. Like I said, that one company, millions of dollars a year, pump up sprayer, window cleaning squeegee, and a water fed pole. Very, very minimalist setup. Is it efficient? Not really, but guess what? If something goes wrong, it's a $20 pump up sprayer. It's a $100 soft wash pump. And so you begin to ask yourself, like, what's the end goal here? Is it efficiency? Is it getting in and out, or is it reliability and making sure the job gets complete, make sure the customer's happy? When you really boil it down, that's really what we're doing here, right? We want to get in and out. We want to make sure the customer's happy. We want reliability. We want to make sure we're as profitable as possible, and that's it. So I really appreciate you guys sticking around for this video. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, do hit the subscribe button. Comment down below what you want to see next. I'd really appreciate any of you guys' feedback. And all my links are in the description. So if you guys want to get window cleaning gear, you guys want to get in my 6-figure pressure washing program, you guys want Christmas light gear, all those links, my CRM software, all the deals on all that stuff is going to be down in the description. You guys can go check that out. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.